But yeah, I think there's just so many good, valuable, low rarity units. Like, and that's something else I love about this game is how easy it is to build up characters. I don't know if you guys find that. Like, that is like my biggest tip, especially in the early game. Maybe once we get like past 40, it becomes less like you start getting starved on experience. But like pre-level 35 up to level 35, you can level so many characters up because the leveling material isn't the choke point, it's more the gear leveling material. So you just swap that gear around, get one of each weapon built, and then like you can just play around with anyone you want to and just try out all these strategies, whereas a lot of games brick you from doing that and you can't even test units. But I think this game does a fantastic job at that. Do you guys agree, or have you guys had a nuisance with that?
100%. I've had no issue. I have every unit on my account almost like level 35. There's some that are level 1, like Flare, because I think Flare is just kind of dog water. I don't know what I would use them for. But outside of that, like any unit I have even a slight interest in, I just level them up to 35. If they're below, if they're silver or copper, whatever, bronze, they get all of their abilities that they get access to. So they feel fully built. And honestly, for a lot of these strategies, you don't even need equipment on these units, right? They're not like actually better because they're already getting one shot with your level 40 gear. So what's the point of having gear on them at all? So yeah, it's been really easy to build up characters.
It does it does make me worry a little bit though. Like I think the ability to, and I'm going to use the word cheese, and I don't have a better vocabulary word for it, but I like when you can cheese. I don't like when you have to cheese. And I like the idea, like, I like playing front to back, like MMO style. I got a tank, I got a healer, I'm going to position my damage units, and I'm going to like unload. And sometimes that's how I want to play. And on maps, when the only way to win is like knock characters off ledges at a certain time, like that relies on the AI being incredibly stupid, which it is. And so like you feel like a mastermind because you're like, man, I'm like 4D chessing, but you're 4D chessing a toddler who's like, my units go forward. And you're like, yeah, you're an idiot. You're like, what? I layer down 4 AoEs but dots, and your units are just walking through it like, here I come. And then like, they stand next to ledges and you're like, gotcha, boom. And like, so I like that. I like when that's an option. But if that's and like right now, like I was saying, we're in this weird spot in the game where we're all stuck in the mid game. And so like, we kind of have to do this to win. But I really hope that at the end, it's still viable. But you can also play Barrel as a DPS character instead of a mana battery for your cheese unit.
Yeah, it's a little
like that.
I was going to say, it's a little weird. It kind of feels like Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner, for those of you that watched Looney Tunes back in the day. Or like, oh no, there's some ice, whoop! And like all that falling off the cliff and everything. And I'm hoping that once we do get max level and we got maxed out gear, 5-star characters and all that type of thing, it's going to level out to be more normal. But we'll see. I don't know, because I know on the Taiwan server, there's not a lot of people, other than maybe Divine Grace and Angel, using epic or below units on the other tower that's eventually going to pop up along with other in-game stuff. So I guess we'll have to see if we can actually cheese that or not.
If every PvE strat becomes a cheese strat, that it is an issue. If some players will like it, but it basically becomes a puzzle game, right? It's not really using RPG. I have a tank, I have a healer, DPS, debuff. It's all just like, all right, how can I manipulate the AI to make them die without me dying? Like I shouldn't be able to bring a level, 10 outlaw archer and be able to kill all the level 65s. And there's an aspect of that I love, actually. Like I really love. But I don't always want to play a puzzle game either. The last Dragon Quest Tact, what I played, they went all in. You had to cheese everything, always. You had to max out units. You couldn't overpower anything. You always had to do rolls on RNG based off specific movements. Like I have to move this unit to this square because it makes this guy line up with this, and now I can kill. It's like it was all cheese, and that did not carry well into the game's dead now, right? Like it wasn't fun a year into it.
And I think with this game, it's more the fact it happens in every game where if you're under leveled for the content, cheese is the only way. And so once we get to max level, I think we will have the option to just like brute force. And I think that's what most people are waiting for, because it is like, it's a massive time sink to cheese these stages. Like
Yeah.
It's like, it's just too much time for me. And I'm just like, dude, I've got like 3 hours tomorrow that I can push tower. Besides that, I'm just going to skip it for this week and reassess next week. Cause it is such a time sink unless you're like copying some strategies or something like that. But I like thinking through these things myself, but it's also like, yeah, dude, this is a massive, massive time sink. But I think in general, the tower is a good thing. I really love the tower. It's actually a really fun mode. Maybe it becomes less fun at the end, but once again, they do have the additional tower, which I don't know when we'll get it, but that will also be like another fun challenge. And I'm hoping that becomes more of the challenge that what Oren's talking about with, now you need like a properly built team. Stats kind of matter. You still want to be able to do the cheese and for it to add to your gameplay, but not be the core gameplay. So we'll have to wait and see.